Well, hello, Bob Dandry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. So before I begin, a bit of housekeeping. I am out of state for work this week, as you're watching this. So the next two episodes have been pretty much recorded at the same time, so I haven't had the opportunity to take on any feedback, anything like that. Also, last week's Shadows of Doubt episode was missed, also due to that trip and having to plan for Transport Fever 2 for the week. But if you're following that series, should be back in action as of next weekend. Anyway, last episode we worked on this, I've called it the Spaghetti Station here at Dayton. I think it looks pretty good as a building gets knocked down in the background there. It seems to function pretty well. We were having a lot of slowdown and such around, so I'm happy with what we're seeing there. I don't know where we're transporting grain either. That's a bit weird. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So let's get stuck into the episode itself. Now, I did want to fix up something we removed last episode to, make this whole thing work. And that was the bridge that connects sort of these two sides of Dayton. Now, obviously, we've built a new bridge over here to replace the old level crossing. But I think we need a bit of, shall we say, redundancy just in case, maybe there's an accident on this bridge or something like that. We don't want to completely cut off one side of our city from literally the rest of the world. This doesn't connect to anything else. So let's get a bridge built here. Hopefully it should be easy. We're not doing too much sort of right here, so I think it should be a nice connection we can quickly make. Also notice I missed some signals as well. All right, let's see what we can do here. So we'll do our old trick that I learnt, is to place your bridge before you place anything else. Like so, but not really like so, because we don't want to stay like probably flat-ish, to be honest. Yeah, nice. And we probably don't want that either. Let's get... I would like to have pillars here, because I think it looks a bit silly to have a massive span like that with no pillars at all. So I wonder if we can... Yeah, perfect. Okay. There we go. So we got our bridge. It's there. And let's see if we can connect it up. I reckon we're not going to connect up this way. Our slope is probably too steep. But we can absolutely fix it up like so. And... like so, okay. Nice-ish. And then this one should be an easy one, I think. Still too much slope, though. That's interesting. So we'll probably need to do the same thing here again. And once again, we will do that as well. Perfect. All right, so that's fixed. We have that access set up. Let's smoothify it a little bit as well. Smooth enough, I reckon. So... one thing I do want to look at while we're here as well. Now, we've got this basic sort of light rail network that we've got set up here, which I think works pretty well. But the thing is, it actually misses out a lot of the city. Look at this. All of this side of our city does not have any connection to our train station. Now, we could potentially set up like another entrance to the station to try and do that, which I think I might do that as part of what we're doing here. And we'll see, does that cover everything? Does it cover some of it? Or do we need to potentially look at getting a new light rail sort of a network on this side? Let's see, can we get a connection here? I don't know if that's connecting or not. Oh, hang on. I don't think that's connecting up. If we do a large one, or maybe a large one like so, that's definitely not connecting, I can tell you that much. Okay, we might build it anyway, and let's see. Is there a better place we can get this to destroy less buildings? Doesn't look like it, so we'll get that down. No, that's not connecting. That's unfortunate because it is pretty damn close. to connecting up there. I reckon we're not going to be able to build a street down here because I think we've got a bit too much slope. But let's give it a go. Is that connected? Yes. Okay, cool. So there we go. Apparently we did have an entrance there anyway. But let's see how we're doing. Okay, so we're covering pretty much all of that side now anyway. So we can probably not worry about what I was talking about in terms of getting a network on this side. But I do want to expand our light rail network. I think I would like to do a top to bottom network from how we're looking, because obviously this network, it's primarily going out sort of left to right. So we might add some additional light rail tracks, and we'll sort of have it more going the full height of the city here. Let's get some further tram tracks set up. And probably to about here. And then we will have it heading back up, all the way up. And then it will, I think that's fine how it is there. And we might have this running in the opposite direction as well. So we'll need to add some additional stops across the network as well. Okay, I think that is a good little line we've got set up there. So we will get it going. Perfect. Dayton number 2. I think we've got everything set up that we need to for this to run properly, but there's always the possibility we get some errors right about now. But let's see. Let's go with 5, and we can always add some more on should we need to. And perfect. Okay, and that's looking exactly how I wanted it to as well, so that's great. Other thing about Dayton is that we do have some buildings here that aren't being adequately serviced with freight. Specifically, we've got buildings here, a little bit over here as well, and these are commercial buildings as well. But it looks like they're reasonably well serviced. They look okay, actually, from... Where is it? This one here. On this side... Looks like it's mostly residential, so we're okay. So we might redo some of our trips a little bit to cater for that. So I want to get a truck unload stop here. One over here. And I think we should be able to get rid of that one. I don't think that one has anything it's really serving if we've added in these 2 stops here. I also want to do this as a bit of a, rather than it serving like everything off the one sort of trip, I would like to instead have it sort of going back and forth. And that should hopefully save us from having stations, especially the sort of latter stations, are being missed because they're already full going to like the first stop. So I want to see if we remove 12th Street, how do we look? I think we should be okay. That is also good for us as well, because that was a bit of a slowdown on the network as well, because as you can see, this is part of our light rail network as well. So fingers crossed that will work okay. But yeah, look, if I'm looking at the coverage, I don't think we're missing anything by doing this. I think we're pretty well covered for everything. So that hopefully will just sort of redesign this a little bit. We've probably lost some freight that we're going to take in. So hopefully that comes back quickly. But I think this should allow Dayton to grow a little bit more as well. All right, next on our network improvement kick we're currently on, I want to have a look at Richmond. So Richmond has a single freight unload stop, which, as you can see, is central, doesn't actually cover everything. So What I'd like to do is probably split it into two, move one onto, I reckon, this street here, and one potentially on this street here. That should cover most of, if not all of. Let's have a look. So if we remove Lake Street, what are we covering here? We're covering pretty much everything. And move it a little bit further in this direction to cover a bit more. And then if we pop over onto this street here, let's see. Would love to get it on that segment there. Oh, hang on. It does like it. It's just a bit particular about it. You need to be closer in. Okay, that's interesting. Which is weird. Okay, that looks like it covers everything as well. So we're going to get rid of this central unload stop here and shift it onto the two individual ones. I'm noticing a lot of backup here as well. So that indicates we've got quite a few people from El Paso wanting to come in as well. Could we maybe do a bus? I think we could do a bus to El Paso, maybe dropping off sort of at the station itself. And that hopefully should cause less people to want to drive their private vehicles. Because look at that, it's holding things up. Also holding things up is the fact we've still got a level crossing here, which obviously we're trying to eliminate. So we might as well work on that as well while we're here. So let's get a bridge over the top. And we will connect it up over here. Oh no, that's not good. That's not what I wanted at all. Okay, hang on. I think it was Tom who ragged on my ability to use the road tool, and I agree 100%. It is definitely not my favorite thing to work with. I do think it's a little bit tricky. I'm used to the road tool in the city skylines, especially modded, which is super intuitive. This is not so much so, so I do struggle with it a little bit. But I think we should be able to get this to work. And we want this to be a straight connection, actually. See if we can just get in like that. I think that looks pretty good. And we'll do the same thing in the other direction, though. I think we probably want to join up here. So let's see, can we... No, we can't directly connect. It does look silly still to do that. But we can potentially sort of line up so we are on the level pretty much to do that. Flat. Okay. A little bit of delay happening here, but I think we're okay. And yeah, so then what we want to do is actually remove this level crossing. People can still cross over on foot, apparently. Why is there an issue with that? Road vehicle has no path. That's just because you need to turn around, isn't it? So we turn you around. No, you won't turn around. Okay. Done. Fixed. That is ugly as. I'm not a fan of this at all. You'll have to wait a little bit longer. How is that? It looks like it actually is a little bit longer on one side. That's part of the issue. Still not ideal, but it's a little bit better than it was before, I think. That looks so silly, actually. Can we... Is there a different connection? Oh, wow. It's become quite tiny, hasn't it? Is there something else we can do? That's probably too low, isn't it? Actually, I think that works. Let's give it a go. This is still super ugly, not going to lie. But we might do just a little bit of smoothing out as well. Okay, so that is one issue with the sort of town's road network corrected, or hopefully it is anyway. Next, let's make the change to our drop-off locations. And it's probably time to upgrade these from these old steam steam trucks that we're running. So let's see what we've got available. So it's just the tarp trucks. Let's get those in. I might add another 10 on as well. Actually, no, we probably don't need to add any more, to be honest. I think we're probably doing pretty well. Yeah, not bad, not bad. And that should hopefully spread the goods and spread the love a little bit more as well. Next, our issue with, as we were aware, all of this traffic. So that indicates, I think we've got an overlay we can actually see here, don't we? Destinations layer. And we can see there's a lot of private transport. In fact, a lot going across. Interesting. I suppose a lot of this makes sense, really, doesn't it? Somewhat, at least. Because we've got, especially Richmond, El Paso, Wilmington. They're not connected directly at all. So if you were to want to go from Richmond to El Paso, you'd need to hop on a train for one stop either way. I don't know if that makes the most sense. If you're a commuter, you'd probably just hop in your car, wouldn't you? So I wonder if we could run... I mean, I'd love to just run a train line across there, but it's probably not the most realistic thing we could do, is it? So what we might do, at least for the moment, maybe in the future we might look to get a train line across them. Maybe once we've got sort of more metro-style services available. But at the moment we can run a bit of a bus line that runs between these three cities and see how that goes. So we'll get a bus terminal set up at each of them. I note, obviously, all this passenger on this side of Richmond isn't actually covered because we don't have an entry. So we can probably kill birds. We can probably kill two birds with one stone here by fixing both of those issues right now. So we might get... Why do you not want to connect there? Do we have some steps there set up or something like that? I don't know why you won't connect there, actually. Oh, there's an underground path there. Maybe it's something to do with that. Anyway, not important. We can get a connection set up here. Remove this beautiful, massive building, of course, as you do. And we will get our connection there. That doesn't connect directly, as we can see, at least not right now. But we should be able to get a bus station set up. A nice, quiet, you know, what words? What are they? Set up here, and that should connect everything. We can't get two platforms. That's not going to work, is it? Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, actually. So we can get that set up. Do you cover everything now? Perfect. So that also serves as a connection with the rest of the road network as well. That's good. We will... I don't know why you keep getting angry and doing that. It's weird. And we'll connect up here. Perfect. And we'll do the same at El Paso and also Wilmington as well. We potentially might set up maybe like one stop in the city for each as well. So it's not like a suburban bus, but there's a little bit of coverage there. And how are we going to set this one up? So we might need to potentially set it up as part of our freight unload stop, I think. These guys are only using one platform, so we might remove the other one and replace it with one or two passenger platforms. Perfect. And they actually do both fit in there. And then where do we go from there? Okay, so we head off in this direction, it looks like, to get to Wilmington. We can possibly give them a bit of a faster route as well, just to help as well with the transport concerns. Maybe sort of loop around this hill. So we can set this up as a bit of a highway, couldn't we? Because obviously these are dirt roads with not a whole lot of capacity, I guess, or speed, whatever you want to call it. What we might do, we might set up a bit of an orbital highway that connects directly, and then we can set up some junctions to get our buses in where they need to go. So we'll probably have it start sort of, yeah, here. Why not? And we'll probably upgrade this as well to help with that as well. So we'll set up a 110 kilometer an hour road, maybe? No, we want an actual highway. Where are those? We've got like motorways here. 120, wow. Do we want to do that? Yeah, why not actually? Let's make it a bit of a motorway. 140, that's a bit silly. We're going to do 110. Let's do 110. Not there though. We'll have it sort of start here by itself. And we'll work out sort of how to connect it up from there as well. There you go. We've got one direction of our motorway, and now we need to run the other one. Unfortunately, we don't have any like road guidelines or anything like that, which is annoying, and it means we're going to need to lay this by hand, but I think it's okay. I think it's still going to be fairly easy to get a nice connection, hopefully. I don't think we matter or care too much if they're slightly different levels or anything like that. Though it's not obviously the most tidy connection. That's the only thing. But I think it's okay. Oh, wow, that's massive. Did not want to do that much. It's interesting going the other way as well because the sort of natural lay of the land that the roads are trying to follow is not the same as well, which is why it's such a challenge, I think. I think we're doing all right, to be honest. Okay, so we've got a reasonably okay connection here. The question is, how are we going to join this up to our main road? Really just a straight connection, hey? Like, don't do anything too fancy with it. We'll set this up as a large country road, maybe? No, we'll do a city road. No, actually, yes. It will be a country road because of the high speed limit. So this will become one. I'll quickly disconnect you because I don't want you to be upgraded. And then we need to see if we can do a nice direct connection here. It's ugly as. Can we make that better? Can we like change the direction of these? I don't know if we can. Can we like do this? No. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, that's better. Better but not ideal. And then how do we connect up this? We could actually connect it through a suburban street rather than the highway that we're setting up. That probably makes sense. Next, we do need to reconnect this road because local authorities are not happy about it. Once we reconnect it, we can start playing again as well. So I wonder if we connect it up with our bridge here. Sort of a direct route in like that. Possibly. I do want to upgrade these roads as well so they're not dirt roads. So we can just sort of connect somewhere in there. It doesn't look like it wants to connect direct there, so we might need to connect up sort of here or so. Problems are solved, so we'll unpause, and I'll just smooth this out a little bit. And then we need to set up our junctions around the place. So I think we probably want to come into the city probably about here or so, where our connection to our machine factory is. I think that probably makes sense. And if I remember how to do stuff properly, we can set up a ramp on either side there. Hopefully. Okay. And then back down. Pretty easy. And we'll need to do the same here as well. Perfect. And we'll need to upgrade this road as well, once again. We do want another junction this section here as well. This one is going to be a little bit harder because there's a lot of tunneling we need to do to make it happen. But I think it should be okay. In hindsight, we might have been better to actually go over the top here. I'll come back to that in a sec, and we'll make our connection to Wilmington. I think what we'd like to do is maybe grade separate this. I just set up a section of sort of wide fast road, maybe one of our country roads, wherever those are. Yeah, one of these. We might as well just set it up rather than trying to do flyovers and things like that. Or do we want to plan for a future connection? No, I think this is probably as far as this one will go. If we want to try and connect this highway somewhere else, we'd probably break it off a little bit earlier. Okay. In that case, we'll just do it. Yeah, just connect it to 90. Okay, it's pretty ugly. Let's be honest. But it's okay. Be interesting to see if we start to get some vehicles using this road. No one at the moment is interested, are they? Okay, so with our connection here, I think we're going to remove a lot of these. We'll pull it out a little bit further and then have sort of a connection a little bit further out, potentially. So apparently that doesn't upset everyone, so there must be a secondary connection somewhere, potentially. It is sort of maintaining continuity. Maybe? No, it doesn't look like there is, so I don't... Oh, actually, no, there is. Duh. It's the motorway. You silly person. Okay, so we can actually unpause and just let that do what it wants to do. I'm just thinking on this. How do we make this work? Might sort of drag this back and connect it over there, maybe. I think that makes enough sense for us to work on. Okay, one connection done. Yeah, we'll just leave that one off for the moment. But now the problem we need to solve is our ramps, because these are not going to be easy, I think. We might need to do some crazy park-low type stuff. Maybe. Okay, let's see if we can work this. I don't know if it'll work. Let's see if we can get a park-low down. Sort of. Is this going to be a park-low? Yeah, it more or less is. So what we want to do here, which is obviously not working, is have it do a loop around, which is pretty much... That's how a park-low works, isn't it? I don't know. I think it is. We could maybe get that to work if we pull this ram back a little bit further, potentially. Ah, shit. It needs to go the other way. So is there a way to reverse the direction of roads? There's not, is there? It's unfortunate. Please tell me in the comments if there is a way to do that. Oh, we're a bit close. I'll tell you what, that's probably the best we're going to get, and it's okay. It's fine. We'll just need to do the same in the other direction as well. Ah, fuck, I need to legit build it in the other direction. Oh god, this is going to be a terrible thing to do in the other direction, isn't it? So we might need to start with the exit. We can probably pull it back a bit as well. To like here or so. And see if we can... So I guess the first thing we need to do the breaking off bit. It's telling me too much slope, but we've been able to fix that. Then we do this. Okay, okay. Question is, can we connect up here with another? Okay. Not terrible. Ah, fuck. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. And then we can do that. All right. I think that should work. All right. I think that's okay. Oh man, we got a lot of traffic going to Everett as well. Okay. So maybe there was a need to be building. Potentially. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We'll focus on this first sort of section here, and then we can do things other than that later. I might use a different bus stop than the one we've got on our local network. We'll set it out a little bit further. Probably about here or so. And Wilmington. How are we going to do Wilmington? We do have this here that we can potentially utilize. This is going to more or less avoid the center of the center of the city. So, and that's okay. That's fine. We don't necessarily mind that. But yeah, who is using the terminals here? I think we've probably only got one terminal that's being used. Perfect. So what we can do then is we can get rid of this one and just put a passenger platform there. That's nice and easy. There's only one set of passengers going through there as well. Okay, so... Alright, let's do it. Let's set up this line and see how it works. So, Richmond sidings. A stop off here. Please say we're using the motorway. We are. Excellent. El Paso halt. Wilmington. 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 Stopping off at El Paso halt again. We will change the platform that's using as well. Vine Street and then back. Oh, lovely. Look at that. I think that is hopefully going to be quite useful for us. So we'll just change our platform for one of the El Paso stops. And cool. What are we going to call this? We'll call this the Richmond Wilmington coach service, or just coach. Okay. Cool. I'm actually a little bit excited by this, I'm not going to lie. It's not often we do road stuff. There's a little bit of a change. And we've got these. Which are... Okay. Let's just go these... Yeah, we'll use this one here. Apparently they're city buses. They look like coaches to me, but we'll just use them as coaches. Let's get maybe 10 and set them loose. There we go. Really cool. That's yeah, something different. So we'll see. I guess watch them with great interest in terms of how those perform. But I'm pretty hopeful. Okay, and I am noticing we are starting to get a few people waiting to go to various places. That's cool. It is working. Just a little bit slowly, I guess. And whoa, look at the inner line. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, this is a lot of passenger demand. I think inline we're running quite, fairly, well, I mean, it's quite old, so we can probably replace these as well. So it's probably a good opportunity. So let's check out. So we've got 420 waiting there. Nice. 380, 300. A little bit less there. 140, 113, 220. I mean, quite solid demand, to be honest. Of course, once we get into sort of the main line, things start to break up a little bit more. But yeah, I think we need to possibly upgrade our trains here. It should be nice and easy, though. Let's see what we've got available, actually, before we go too much further. I'll just pull these up anyway. Why not? Now, we've got our silver liners here as well, which we can use on some electrified lines. Obviously, we don't have electrification on here, at least not just yet. But we've got plenty of options, don't we? A pack, yes. Now, I think we might use F7s on this. Now, these are actually going to be standing in for F9s because we don't have separate F9s, obviously, in our mod set. So we will get some, we'll probably boost these up to 240 meters long. I think that makes sense. And we will, get some Penn Railroad F7/F9s running here. So these should be a little bit exciting, I think, to run. That should boost our speeds and capacities. We're going to need to look at upgrading this line to high speed to take advantage of that as well. But overall, I think this is going to be pretty nice. Next, I want to do a little bit of reorganizing of our goods station over here near LA. This does tend to hold people up a little bit. We've got sections of single track. We also have trains that are terminating from either direction using the same platform as well, if that makes sense. So we've got a train coming from the direction of LA Central that wants to stop here on platform 1, and a train coming from the direction of Las Vegas that also wants to stop on platform 1. That causes issues. So I want to boost the number of platforms here. I also want to consider maybe getting a bypass track potentially, because we do have trains that want to use this to get to the Peoria bypass. So I think we'll get a few extra tracks in here, and that should hopefully work out all right anyway. So pause this, because we're going to break lines doing this. We only need to bypass in one direction. I think that makes sense to me anyway. We'll get just sort of 2 pairs of tracks here. I said, no, you idiot. We only wanted 1 extra set of tracks, not a pair. Okay, then what we're going to do, our train terminating here will stop on the right-hand track here, and our trains coming from the top will use the left pair of tracks. So we will need to pause. That should be the only crossover we need, right? So if you're coming in there, you're leaving there. If you're coming in there, leaving there. Yeah, okay. Cool. don't know if we actually need to double track this. I'm thinking. Give me a think. Let me have a think. And you need to run to a different platform, of course. Nice and easy one there. LA South. Send you there. No. No. Correction. We'll send you there. What's the problem? Hang on. Steel train needs to run in the other direction. You run to there. Okay. Cool. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So we don't actually really need to double track it if we are serving where everyone wants to go correctly, I guess. Now it's that time of the episode where we take on the sad task of replacing some more steam locomotives, and we're going to be looking at the New York to Lafayette Stone Line. These are running quite old, what are these, 460s? I don't know, 10-wheelers maybe. And they are our oldest locomotives on our network, so sadly, they will be departing us today. So if we pop over here, we will get them on the modify. And we've got a few options here. So we have unlocked the Alco Centuries, but we've only got the demonstrators, it looks like, at this point, so we're not going to use them quite yet. What we might do is grab some RS-27s. These were actually considered to be failures. I believe they weren't particularly successful, but Penn Railroad did actually buy a few. They bought half of the entire fleet that was produced by Alco, so we might actually use RS-27s. I'm assuming we're going to need to double head these, but I'm just going to check anyway. I think these goes up to 320 maybe. Yeah, we're definitely going to hit poor surely. We don't, but you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. I think probably we do want that extra power, so we're not holding up the rest of the line. So it makes sense to me. And we'll do the same here. Cool. Okay, there we go. So, got a new shiny diesel on our network that we haven't used before. And I think we're fine with the number running at the moment. 2, I think, is fine at this point. And the Dayton to Roseville passenger line is probably next on our hit list in terms of switching over to diesel. So we've got just the 2 running here. Let's do a quick check of our numbers to see how things are looking here. So we've got 470, 380 and 70. Well, I reckon we can probably upgrade this and add an additional, probably 1 train running here. I think that probably makes sense. How are the 2 we've got running right now doing? Full and full. Absolutely can. So we'll get these upgraded to 240 meters if they aren't already, and get an additional 1 running as well. Oh yeah, they're very short. So we will get those switched over. Once again, we are going to be running with F7s standing in for F9s. We might run some New York Central for these ones, actually. Okay, so I went ahead and picked up some New York Central Pullmans to add onto this line. So these are, obviously, they're slightly older, aren't they? But I think it's probably okay. My understanding is that this probably wasn't a long enough journey for this to be running with like sleepers, and maybe diners would run. So we might chuck a diner on there, though not a Conrail one. And yeah, probably would have business class, I guess. Might add a couple more diners as well, just to take it up. Nope, it hits poor, never mind. Wow, okay. So I wonder if we might actually put an additional F7 on here then. Because this is probably going to struggle quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So we might just put an additional F7 on here, or F9. As it is. Ooh, hang on. Oh, okay. Hang on. Never mind. No, okay. Looks like we don't have the late New York Central scheme on here. This might be it, actually. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. And we will also get that duplicated, so we've got an additional one running. Now, these have got weird preview images, so I don't know how they look. I'm hoping they are just normal looking. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. So there we go. So we've upgraded our Dayton to Roseville passenger line with some F9s/F7s, and all is good. All right, and our new New York Central passenger train is arriving at our terminus at Roseville. So let's hop aboard, sit back, enjoy the ride as we make our way back to Dayton. Hope you enjoy.
Hello there.
And here we are arriving in Dayton. That was a lovely high-speed trip on our new New York Central set, so I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, doing these ride-alongs also allows me to pick up things I might have done wrong in the network. As you could see in Richmond, we were sharing the platform between our up and down services, which isn't our way to do things, as we know. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the ride-along. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Transport Fever 2. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You'll find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. A big shout out to my Founders Club patrons, Caleb and Isaiah. Thank you so much to the two of you for helping to make this content possible. As I mentioned, I'm recording this and the next episode back to back, so fingers crossed. You'll have an episode on Thursday, but as I mentioned, I am interstate for the next few days for work. So if I don't, I'll try and maybe get it out on Friday instead. But anyway, until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.